So let's move on to a part of the conversation that's very important that people are asking about all over the place, and that's questions about signing up to the Transhumanist Party, because people want to sign up, they're desperate to sign up, they're all over it, they're inboxing me all the time saying, how do I sign up to this thing? But they've got a whole bunch of questions. So let's make this a semi-comprehensive guide. Obviously, it can't be the most comprehensive guide, but it'd be a video guide to people who are interested in this. And I'm gonna demonstrate it here on screen. But while I'm doing that, can you please answer some questions that people have? So, for example, a question would be, I'm already a member of a political party in my own country. Can I still become a member of the Transhumanist Party in the United States?
Yes, absolutely you can. Membership in any other political party does not conflict with membership in the Transhumanist Party. We strive to be as inclusive as possible, meaning you really are able to hold any other set of political beliefs that you would like, as long as you agree with our 3 core ideals, which are listed in our membership application as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, can you explain to the people what an allied member is?
Yes. So an allied member is any individual who is not eligible to vote in United States elections. However, that individual may still become a member for free of the United States Transhumanist Party and participate in our internal deliberations and our internal votes. Those votes may relate to planks within the U.S. Transhumanist Party platform or documents like the Transhumanist Bill of Rights, which you showed earlier, as well as endorsements of candidates who may be seeking to run for office in U.S. elections. Now, being an allied member does not render one eligible to actually vote in the general elections in the United States. However, one can participate in our internal process regarding which candidates we would essentially give our approval and our support to. So if you go to transhumanist-party.org/membership, you can see here on the screen the free membership application that one can fill out in less than a minute. Essentially, there's minimal detail requested, a name and email address, this question of whether one is eligible to vote in any United States elections. And if you click no, then you would be an allied member. If you click yes, you would be a United States member. Again, that only affects whether you're eligible to vote in the official U.S. general elections, but for purposes of internal consultation of your opinion about what we should do as the Transhumanist Party, you would still have full rights as an allied member. And then we have our 3 core ideals, the key values that the Transhumanist Party supports. And these are phrased to be as broad and inclusive as possible. You can see the Transhumanist Party supports significant life extension achieved through the progress of science and technology. The Transhumanist Party supports a cultural, societal, and political atmosphere informed and animated by reason, science, and secular values. And the Transhumanist Party supports efforts to use science, technology, and rational discourse to reduce and eliminate various existential risks to the human species. So if you agree with those core ideals and you click yes, then you would become eligible to vote in internal U.S. Transhumanist Party elections. If you click no, I would probably follow up with you and ask you what you disagree with and why, and attempt to identify whether the set of views that you espouse would still render you transhumanist enough that we could nonetheless render you eligible to vote. And these 4 ideals were phrased to be maximally inclusive, so they could accommodate a variety of particular perspectives on transhumanism and emerging technologies. Essentially, what they're meant to filter out are techno-Luddites, people who think that death at 50 is a good thing, or people who think that technological progress should be halted in all cases. But if you're not one of those individuals, if you think there's a potential for the constructive use of technology to improve the human condition, then we would be happy to have your voice and your input within the Transhumanist Party.
Absolutely. So, what if I'm really engaged? Can I start one of these parties in my own country?
You can, and if you do, we would be happy to ally with your party. So you can go to the States and Allies tab at the top bar of our website, and you can see we have a list of state parties, and below that we have a list of allied organizations. And these allied organizations can be businesses, they can be nonprofits, or they can be political parties in other countries that espouse similar views to our own. And please reach out if you founded another political party. Once again, there's no mutual exclusivity here between the U.S. Transhumanist Party and membership in any other political party in any other country. So we'd be happy to include you on our list of allied organizations if you do this. You can see at the bottom Transhumanism Australia, which is one of the leading advocacy organizations in Australia for emerging technologies, is one of our allied organizations.
That's fantastic. So why become a member apart from getting some of these little gimmicks that you offer?
Yes, so becoming a member comes with voting privileges, and those are, I would say, the most important, in that you get to determine the course of transhumanist politics. And your vote counts a lot more than your vote would in virtually any other context, given that we have right now 1,655 members. So if you cast a vote, it will comprise a statistically significant proportion of the total. And furthermore, because we try to be cosmopolitan, we try to be inclusive, we try to entertain a variety of perspectives, you as a member would be able to propose platform planks, you would be able to make other suggestions regarding our operations that we will take into account. And if they're the kinds of suggestions where multiple perspectives are possible, we would put them to a vote of our members. So I would say the reason to become a member is to have this kind of influence. And really, we seek to be a member-driven organization. So we encourage our members to start their own events. For instance, hold a local meetup, or give a lecture and record it, or submit an article for publication on our website. We welcome all of those contributions, and we would like to essentially see a flourishing of technological, political, cultural advocacy that will help transition us to the next era of our civilization.
And do I have any obligations as an allied member?
As an allied member, you do not have any specific binding obligations, in that you could potentially join and then not take part in our votes, or not contribute any original content. Of course, you're encouraged to engage in those activities. However, you wouldn't be penalized or deprived of your membership if you choose not to, for whatever reason. The only definitive obligation that our members have is to refrain from criminal acts of violence, which they already have an obligation to refrain from in virtually every set of laws that people live under. And this has been stated in our Constitution in order to emphasize we do not advocate political violence for any reason, for any set of beliefs. That way, we distinguish ourselves from some of the militant zealots that have unfortunately infiltrated contemporary politics. For instance, the Antifa, or various, let's say, alt-right militant groups that have arisen in the United States. So we want an alternative of peaceful politics. And as long as our members behave peacefully, they're welcome to remain members at whatever level of activity they choose to engage in.
Have you got anything else final to say on membership that we didn't cover?
Well, I would say this is the easiest political party membership that one can obtain. So I strongly encourage you to do it, especially now at this relatively early stage when a single person's activities and a single person's input can make a tremendous difference. And there are many individual members of the Transhumanist Party who have already made their mark. You can be one of them. And furthermore, I would encourage as many people to sign up as possible, not just to be able to vote in the upcoming presidential primary, which is going to be a milestone for transhumanist politics, but also so that we can eventually reach 10,000 members. I believe that is the critical threshold for the Transhumanist Party to essentially take on a momentum of its own. Once we reach 10,000 members, we will be so firmly established that the chain of events leading to the transition to the next era of our civilization will be, I think, close to irreversible.
Thank you very much for that.